What?
Get radio! Shut it off!
Todd Hoffman didn't plan on shaking the entire mining world when he returned, but the moment he set foot back on a claim, whispers began. Everyone wanted to know the same thing. Why would he choose a site that experts had written off as impossible? From the outside, it looked like a desperate attempt at a comeback. But Todd isn't the kind of man who moves without a gut feeling, and this time, that instinct pointed him toward a gold mine that most geologists believed shouldn't even exist. His return surprised longtime fans who remembered how things ended for him years ago. Todd had walked away from mining after enduring season after season of crushing setbacks, exhausted claims, financial stress, and the pressure of leading a crew that depended on him. Even supporters wondered if the losses had finally broken his spirit. Many thought he'd disappear from the spotlight altogether. Yet here he was, stepping back into the dirt, chasing something everyone else had overlooked. And that alone sparked questions no one could ignore. Rumors quickly surfaced claiming Todd had struck a private deal with a landowner who rarely opened his property to outsiders. Some said the landowner reached out to Todd specifically, convinced that everyone before him had judged the ground too quickly. The secrecy only fueled speculation. Crew members were quiet. The paperwork involved non-disclosure agreements, and Todd refused to reveal early test results. The mining community took note. When miners stay silent, there's always a reason. And in this case, the silence spoke louder than anything else. The strange part wasn't just the secrecy, it was the land itself. Years prior, geologists had mapped the area and labeled it a dead zone. They said the pay layers were broken, the channels scattered, and the soil unstable. Nothing about the site followed normal patterns. But when Todd's team ran their own tests, the numbers didn't line up with the old reports. They were higher, much higher. Geologists had apparently missed a narrow, unpredictable path of gold running deep beneath layers of what looked like worthless gravel. It wasn't uniform or logical. It wasn't supposed to exist, yet it was there. Once the digging began, everything changed overnight. Within the first few days, the Hoffman crew recovered more gold than anyone predicted. Industry veterans were stunned. Some dismissed it as luck, others said Todd had stumbled onto a fluke pocket. But miners pay attention when someone finds gold where no one else ever could. The loudest critics suddenly went quiet. If this was beginner's luck, it was the kind most miners never experience in a lifetime. But success never comes without pressure. As word spread, the atmosphere on the claim shifted. The soil was unpredictable, causing equipment breakdowns at the worst possible moments. Heavy machinery struggled against layers that shifted unexpectedly. Some crew members privately wondered whether the land was hiding more than gold, maybe even danger. Todd could feel the weight of their doubt. To him, slowing down meant risking the chance of missing something massive. To the crew, speeding up felt like gambling everything on ground that didn't behave like any claim they'd worked before. Before long, outsiders started circling the area. Prospector trucks rolled by more often, and small companies made offers to buy nearby plots. Todd had tapped into something big, and everyone wanted their share. A few insiders claimed larger corporations even tried to negotiate with him, either to partner up or convince him to walk away entirely. When wealthy investors suddenly care about a piece of land they once ignored, the story is never simple. The more the crew dug, the clearer the truth became. The strange gold pattern wasn't random at all. Long before anyone alive could remember, an ancient flood carved a narrow, twisting path through the land. Over thousands of years, gold settled into this hidden channel, buried beneath misleading layers of gravel and clay. Traditional geological mapping never caught it because the formation didn't match known systems. It was the mining equivalent of a glitch in the natural world, a hidden pocket that defied expectations. Todd didn't just find gold. He uncovered an explanation for why experts were wrong. The mine didn't break geological rules. It followed rules nobody had discovered yet. And for Todd, a man often labeled reckless or overly optimistic, proving the experts wrong wasn't just a win. It was a moment he'd been chasing his entire career. As the season went on, the story surrounding the claim changed. Instead of calling him the miner who walked away after too many losses, people began calling him the one who uncovered a gold source that shouldn't have existed at all. His instincts, which so many doubted, had brought him face to face with something that rewrote expectations. Mining will always be unpredictable, but Todd's return showed something bigger than just gold recovery. It reminded everyone that the earth still holds secrets, secrets hidden beneath layers of failure, misjudgment, and forgotten land surveys. And it proved that sometimes the most valuable discoveries happen when someone refuses to follow the crowd. Todd's comeback wasn't just a redemption arc, it was a message to every miner who'd ever been told a claim was worthless. Sometimes the experts are wrong, and sometimes the truth is waiting for the one person bold enough to dig deeper. What Todd found may change how miners look at abandoned or dead claims forever, and it leaves one question hanging in the air. If a mine like this could exist in plain sight, How many more are still buried, just waiting for someone to believe in them? But even after the discovery made headlines among miners, Todd knew the story wasn't finished. The claim may have proven itself, but the ground kept revealing strange clues that hinted at something larger beneath the surface. As the crew continued to dig, they found areas where the gold concentration suddenly spiked for no clear reason, almost like the earth itself was guiding them towards something bigger. These weren't normal deposits, they were unusually dense pockets that looked nothing like the surrounding formation. Some days the crew walked away with record hauls, and others they found almost nothing. It was as if the mine had its own rhythm, one they still didn't fully understand. Miners with decades of experience began reaching out privately, asking Todd whether he'd share geological samples. Most miners guard their samples like treasure, but the curiosity this claim generated was unlike anything Todd had seen before. People wanted to know how such a rich source could hide in a region that countless experts had dismissed. Some even suggested that older surveying technology simply wasn't capable of detecting the deep, narrow gold channel that Todd had stumbled onto. If that was true, then hundreds of similar dead claims across North America might not be dead at all. The deeper Todd dug, the more he felt the pressure of history. This wasn't just about gold anymore. It was about rewriting what miners believed was possible, yet the pressure came with a price. Equipment failures didn't slow down, in fact, they got worse. One week, a massive breakdown forced the crew to shut down operations for hours, costing them thousands. But beneath the frustration, Todd saw something few others noticed. Every mechanical failure revealed more about the ground's unusual density and unpredictable layering. Instead of scaring him off, it pushed him to understand what made this land so different. Meanwhile, news of Todd's success reached prospectors who had once laughed at the claim. A few returned to the area, trying to buy small adjoining plots, hoping they might tap into the same golden vein. One rival miner even admitted on social media that Todd had found a ghost channel, a rare formation that only appears after thousands of years of shifting sediment and water flow. Some people believed these formations were nothing more than legends. Now they had evidence staring them in the face. And through it all, Todd kept reminding himself of the one rule he learned early in his mining career. The earth doesn't give up its secrets easily. The crew faced grueling days, long nights, and moments when doubt crept back in. But every time they cleaned out the sluice and saw the gold glimmering back at them, they were reminded why they were fighting so hard. This wasn't just another claim. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, something miners dream about but rarely see. By the end of the season, Todd realized his return had become more than a comeback story. He had uncovered proof that some of the richest opportunities aren't found where the textbooks tell you to look. They're found where instinct, patience, and a little stubbornness collide. The mine may have started as a long shot, a nearly impossible challenge, but standing on the claim, watching his crew pull gold from ground the experts swore was worthless, Todd understood something deeper. Sometimes the greatest discoveries aren't the ones people expect. They're the ones everyone else walked past without ever realizing what was hidden beneath their feet.